In case you somehow have been living under a rock or in a coma, just woke up and are unfortunate enough to find this video your first thing on the internet, you're probably wondering, there's a Phase 6 coming? Wait a second, there's a Phase 4? Yeah, we're gonna go over everything. We're gonna go over all of what I think is in Phase 6. So before we get to the intro and then to my predictions, here is everything we know as of right now. The things that are announced and the blank release dates. So we are going to do our best to fill in the gaps. If you guys think otherwise, let me know in the comments what you think would go where. And of course, I will make my best argument as to why I think certain things will come where I place them. Okay, so let's just kick it right off the bat by popping that list back up and looking at what we know definitively. So we know for a fact that going into 2025 on February 14th of 2025, we have an untitled MCU film. Now, this could literally be anything, but I'm going to take a big guess that this will be Doctor Strange 3. Doctor Strange, in some way, shape, and form, has to deal with the fallout of Doctor Strange 2, and it also has to be before Kang Dynasty. You want to make Doctor Strange somewhat important, and you want to pick up after the momentum you're going to have with Fantastic Four. Again, dropping Doctor Strange here, you take care of whatever he's doing in the multiverse, and when he comes back believing everything is fixed, guess what? Incursions are happening, and it's just gotten worse because Kang is going to be involved. We're going to find out more details through that film, which comes out after it. So while Doctor Strange is back and he thinks all things are good, they're not as quite as good as they seem, because you literally make it an adventure in the multiverse. He comes back and suddenly everything is gone to hell. The ending of Doctor Strange is literally, let's show you how the universe got to where the 616 is right now, because Doctor Strange wasn't here. All hell has broken loose, so here's the fallout coming at you soon. So then after Doctor Strange 3, we have a Disney Plus series in spring of 2025. We know it's a Disney Plus series because it's on the slate, but it doesn't have a Marvel Studios release date, and they're not going to drop films that close to each other. So again, we got to take a stab at what this is. It could literally be anything. Pick anything. I'm going to guess it's either going to be Wonder Man or, yeah, probably Wonder Man. And I feel like we sort of need to balance things out in terms of how we release them. So placing Wonder Man here is kind of a small palate cleanser and a calm before the storm, because you don't know what's coming. And Wonder Man is again based on this Hollywood guy, and it's supposed to be a comedy. So go back to having a little bit more fun before we're hit with more travesty. So next up, you have Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, May 2nd of 2025. This is the big one before, of course, it all ends at Secret Wars. So this film, quite explanatory. We don't need to say anything about it. This is the film where Kang is going to win. He's going to win. That's how it ends. He wins. Which brings us to the second film coming on 7/25/25, which obviously is the end of July. Now, previously, all of us were hoping that this would somehow involve Iron Fist. Maybe it still will, but the registered trademark that Marvel Studios had for something related to upcoming Shang-Chi projects is Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time. Now, with the recent news that the director of Shang-Chi would be directing the Kang Dynasty, and he was already announced to be directing Shang-Chi 2, my guess, so then both films very close to one another, and the effects of whatever happens in the Kang Dynasty will have ramifications that connects them to the Mandarin's rings, which they purposefully left unexplained and, well, out there still. And the title, The Wreckage of Time, is obviously connecting to the bigger picture here. AKA, the rings are going to have more of a play, and the Wreckage of Time implies that Kang has already won. He's won whatever he was doing in Kang Dynasty. Which brings me to summer of 2025. This is a big one. I mean, you could literally toss anything here. I am still sticking with my theory that things set between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are going to be something that involves the bigger universe and showing you the effects, sort of like Battleworld. So my guess is you are going to get a Battleworld TV series that literally is showing you what Kang has done, the ramifications, essentially a live action version of What If that's a little bit more grounded and just showing you how everybody is dealing with things completely being in chaos and out of order. 6 episodes, each episode focusing on a group of characters, different franchises, just showing you how Kang has literally messed up everything. And it's a little precursor to November 7th of 2025. This is the big pay-per-view. This is the blow-off. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you want. This is the culmination of everything, not just in phase 6 or 5 or 4 or 1, 2, and 3. This is all of it combined. This is going to be the biggest thing Marvel has ever done. It's going to celebrate Marvel, not just Marvel Studios. We're talking Marvel as a whole. It will all end here. It will be a softish reset / not a full reboot, but a sort of restructuring of the MCU and what happens going forward. Of course, making mutants here and things like that a little bit more common. Now, I do want to say one idea I tossed around, but I didn't put it on here just because you never know what Sony is going to do, is the possibility of having Sony agree to a partnership with Marvel Studios and bringing us a live action Spider-Verse. Like, really just fully leaning into it. But again, the reason I didn't put it here among these dates, which I will toss up on screen one final time, is because it would not fall in line with any of these right here. Because Sony and Marvel Studios Disney all announce a separate date that then goes in here. It's not on Disney's schedule alone, and it's not for them to make. So realistically, they could drop it, and you could see how it could fit in here because, well, they typically do have release dates that go all over the place now. So somewhere like a October wouldn't surprise me, or even a late June. But again, that's all up to Sony. So there you go, guys. That's extensively what I got here for my predictions. I know some people are going to maybe agree with some of these. I think the Wreckage of Time really fits in here. The name just implies where it would go. Otherwise, though, you could really take a pick for the Disney Plus series and place them really anywhere, come up with anything. But I do think that that year, essentially everything besides like one will all roll into it. And again, I just think Wonder Man goes there, but it could be anything. You could literally place Nova in there, or Guardians 4, Celestial Wars. I don't know. Anything could go there. What do you guys think? What's your predictions?